Assisting me in the Opani department, old friends to the show, my regulars for this part of the week, Bob Weiner, Democratic strategist, columnist, and former communications director for Clinton drug czar General Barry McCaffrey. He's also former chief of staff of the House Committee on Aging, as well as being a former communications director for both Congressman Rangel and Conyers of New York and Michigan, respectively. Bob, good to have you back.
It's a pleasure, and I hope you played the rest of the Karzar's quotes showing how Romney cost jobs at Bain Capital hundreds of thousands. You played that part, too?
We're going to revisit all this. Okay. Also, now, as you might recall, after Vice President Biden declared that he was fine with gay marriage, you then had Secretary of Education Arnie Duncan echoing his support as well. You folks might recall that also Housing Secretary Sean Donovan had announced his own support for it last year. And then, of course, the president announces on ABC earlier last week that he, too, after much reflection, had come to that same conclusion. Now, Bob, do you really buy his evolution explanation on this, given that he had already been pro-gay rights in 1996?
Well, no, I don't. I think you have a valid point that he started off as a state senator in favor of gay marriage, and then, like Romney, who has flopped on choice, health care, guns, and government help to the poor, he realized that he had to watch a bit of the politics of it, and the black community has been basically 2-to-1 against gay marriage, and it did take an enormous, courageous statement and evolution for him to come to what he really wanted to do in the first place. He announced, unlike Romney, who refuses to admit when he is working on a position, the president announced his process. And so you now have the completion of his process. And I give credit to someone who announces a process in motion.
Have a point about on the subject of gay marriage. Your take.
You heard my statement at the beginning that he switched. Okay, concede, he switched. However, that is not the ball game for liberals or black. You listen to the tape of what I said in the beginning, and Amy even said that was great spin. But it's not spin to say that he started with gay marriage, moved away from it a little bit, and came back to it. That's what I said. And I said that he evolved and announced that he was in a process of doing it, which is unique because Romney just flips. He doesn't announce that he switches on choice, on health care, on guns, and government help to the poor. He just absolutely moves to the right and doesn't and tries to pretend he's always been there. Obama announced honestly his process.
Arguments otherwise could not.
What people are looking at is what came out in PolitiFact today, that Obama says Romney's tax plan gives millionaires an average tax cut of $250,000, and PolitiFact rated the statement true, that Romney wants to give more money to millionaires and thinks that that's going to create jobs as though it ever has in the last 10 years. That's what people care about.
Now,
to your wife, I'm thinking about it, and then actually worked on something and come up with a conclusion? Have you ever done that?
If I flip-flopped 3 times, I would be called out on it, as Pat would call you. If you told Pat, you know what, I really like that dress on you. And then 5 months later you say, looks like crap. Oh, but now I like it again. Bob, you will be spending the night somewhere else.